Hello, everybody. Welcome back to World of Warcraft Pre-patch Battle for Azeroth. So, you guys must have already know what has already happened at the end of the Legion. So apparently, Sarger's sword has pierced Azeroth, which is that can in that sword he has, it can spread the corruption, which it could be a problem. However, we don't know anything about it this much, but I have highly doubts that someone else might. Right, so much have already happened, and for the time being, and we have no clue. And the battle for Azeroth has just begun, and their formations. And yet, so far, it's just begin to, progress out of the sword. And so far, we pretty much have already dealt, like, pretty much a heavy blow. And so much of it has already maybe lost of it. But I wouldn't say much for the war against the Alliance. But this is not. This isn't Battle for Azeroth expansion we're talking about. We're talking about the Legion expansion, the last expansion. The last expansion, that ending, it kinda caught me off guard. What that sword did, it just pierced through Azeroth, releasing some kind of new, or some cases some material called Azerite. When Galilix X, the leader for the goblins, have taken control, the whole has already sent a bunch of goblins to this stop and to collect the Azerite before the Alliance does. But since Azerite has already, some people have already don't know what Azerite does. But I personally don't know what it is either. It's probably something that has to do with the heart of Azeroth, as somewhat everybody recalling it. But I can't say for sure what it is. It's a greater possibility will be nothing but a greater failure, and in most cases it doesn't really matter how much it will affect me. Which the effects could be worse. Another worst case scenario, it could be far worse than it was. Legion is, I think a Legion is probably a well done game. Whereas Dronar is kinda 50-50 okay. Mr. Pandaria was fun. It was amazing. It was awesome. I'm glad they added some new content at the very least. Wrath of the Lich King. Oh my god! It was amazing. It was adorable. It was just. God, it is fantastic. I personally thinking about these things, it's just ridiculous, to be honest. But either way, it's a well done. It's a well done game. Well done games. What will happen is the the Cataclysm was Cataclysm was Cataclysm was definitely fine. I'll give it maybe 30. I'll probably give it 20. And I'll give it probably 20, 80? 20 love it, 80 hate it. You know, that sort of thing. I just don't get what's the whole ideal for the game developers Blizzard do. I just don't get the whole reason, the whole main plot to be here. I just don't see an actual reason for it. I kind of don't. I kind of wish that they were planning to do with it, but they just already planned it and just give it a go.
Fury pales before mine. I will see this to the end.
The army of the light stands ready.
What news?
I kind of wish that something that that the other people didn't tell us exactly, but I wouldn't use it against them. It was pretty astounding what it has to be. There's no actual reason to give it the point. It's just for some reason it just doesn't really has to be working this way. It's just so unbound onto its own power. It just doesn't really make any logical sense of what it means or what it does anyway. It's just really doesn't. I don't see the whole main reason of their main plot, whatnot, but I kind of see where this is going and whatnot. But the whole reason it was just so unpredictable. It was just so relentless.
Have opened near Nathrax's spire to reclaim it. Use one of our war frames to see that their effort fails.
The thing is that this contagious endless this expansion they keep doing, it makes all the more reason and to make the game exist and makes it more fun. The more better it will be. I kinda don't see where this is going. I kinda see where this is going, but I don't actually see a reason for it. But I have highly doubts what everybody else would do when it comes to the situations like these. I just have no idea what everybody else was doing with it.
The Burning Legion conquers all!
Kind of see where this is going, but in the meantime, I just feel like it's a no pressure thing, and in some cases, it's just feels like the expansions would be almost worth it, but most people believe it's probably useless against it. it's a bad idea, but they just kind of played along with it. But it's for some reason it just doesn't really, want to play it out. As far as everybody else was saying, is they come and go. It feels like it's almost as if it's someone's being used, but people have already might have lost, like almost all people have already lost interest in this game. I get that, but the main reason that the main reason the people are still around is, well, what else could it be? I mean, I don't know what to do with it, but it's just hell I don't even want to know about it. It just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, at whatever the cost that it may be. It's just kind of, feels under circumstances. Doesn't really have much to affect, it seems, as far as we know of. I mean, there isn't that much people to really think about. In other cases, there's just so much things have already happened, and there's so much have already been done. And despite the damage has been caused, and despite how many people just gotta keep on paying it for it. Now, the question is... are any expansions are fun and worth played with? Now I'm thinking I might gotta add this. This is this in the description below. But I don't know when exactly, and what, and when, why, how, and all that kind of thing. But I don't really think it is a possibility to do so. It's just... it feels like it's kind of pointless to do so. It just feels like it does. But more or less, it's just it's kind of losing on edge to this point. But I can't really think what happened by then.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's see how fast you can rock.
4, 3, 2, 1.
If possibility.
You will be test subjects for my ultimate weapon. I'm out of range.
It just doesn't really have to do that much as effect. But as far as people understand, they come and go. I understand. There is no reason for them to play Warcraft anymore, because they are done with it. Because they think, like, Breath of the King is the last expansion, the Cataclysm is the last third expansion, Mr. Pandora, Mortal's Drenar, Legion, Agent, and now here comes to the end of the World of Warcraft is the last expansion, the final one apparently, was called Battle for Azeroth. I'm gonna thinking that it is possible by doing so, but however it may be executed. Let's see how well it might be executed. Let's see how long that actually plays.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's see how fast you can run.
It just feels it's a little bit different. I think Battle for Azeroth might feel different, but I think it's about time to end the Warlord, not Warlords, but the final expansion for the entirety of World of Warcraft that Blizzard has already done so far, and I think it is interesting. I will personally, I will think about it at the end. We'll see about it at the end of the World of Warcraft and the expansion Battle for Azeroth. But we will see how that goes.
4, 3,
It appears
2,
adjustments.
1.
Let's see how fast you can run.
Beware.
Witness true power.
Let's see how far it can go.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Let's see how fast you can run.
But I'll think about it, guys, for the time being. But I will have. But I have 99% of it. I might guarantee probably 99% of it that World of Warcraft might
3,
be
2,
done
1.
as soon as the Battle for Azeroth comes out. After they update a few patches that they will do. And after a few patches, it might be the end of this game
True power.
of World of Warcraft.
Honor. You will be test subjects for my ultimate weapon.
If is a possibility, but I can't say for sure when exactly, but I don't actually know when it does or what is going to happen. So there's a possibility, but we don't know yet. But we will think about it. Just trust me on this, guys. Just hold on to your hope about it. So I have my hopes about it.
It appears adjustments still need to be made.
So hopefully in time we will
3,
in time
2,
we will think
There is no escape.
I honestly don't know if
Witness true power. Now I'm just extra buzz.
The Legion is in its death throes. Time to put our boots to their throats. Return to the Vindicar and prepare to strike the killing blow.
definitely guess that it's gonna be a while, but it's gonna take some time.
So much agony here. So many voices. It's nearly overwhelming. But I can feel Aenar urging us forward.
At long last, the end is upon us. Press on, my friends.
But I don't know when it's gonna happen or what's gonna happen. But all I know, the none will be the same.
It's too far away.
But we will see about the end of Battle for Azeroth and this game entirely. Because I feel like this might be the last expansion this entire game, and that is gonna be it.
I'm out of range.
So we will see about it when the time is right. And so glad they're adding us. They're so glad they're adding Ashura in the Battle of Azeroth. Apparently second and again until last of this game of the Battle for Azeroth apparently. I wonder if it's the true final boss of this entirety. But let's see this through then. So just be cautious about it.
Witches! You call that torment? I've endured far worse!
I tire of that worm's babbling. Let me scorch the flesh from his miserable bones!
Ignore him, sister. Focus on your duty. These souls are nearly ready to join Agrimar in the Master's service.
And hopefully
Demons twisting the spirits of the Titans,
Uh,
forcing use the light to serve the Legion.
Should they fall to darkness, Zargeras will have the power he needs to claim the final Titan.
Azeroth.
I don't have a target.
and hopefully none will be the same. Eventually. Sooner or later. But we will see how this Battle for Azeroth expansion goes. If it goes well, then I'll say that I will put on the scales for the main vanilla, Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, Mist Pandora, Warlords of Draenor, Legion, and Battle for Azeroth.
Will show you torment.
Anyways, that's all I got to say.
Struggles against the
Until then, I'll see you all next one. I'll see you all next time.
3, 2, 1.
Until then, I'll see you guys next time.